Let me begin by asking you about the ongoing economic revival and the state of the economy as you see it.
Yeah, thank you, Siddharth, and thank you for your greetings, and my greetings to all your viewers. Uh, as far as the economy is concerned, it is on the stage of recovery, and sitting here this time of the year, if we were to compare the situation at the same time last year, things are significantly better. Last year we had a negative growth, and this year, with all the estimates indicating that we might end with in the vicinity of 9.5% growth rate, which would imply that all the GDP we lost last year, we would have more or less recovered. That is one good thing. Then if you look at the constituents of economy and what's taking place, if you look at the revenue collection for the last 7 months, ending October, they have been upwards of 30%, not when compared to 2020 when the economy declined, but with the reference to 19. That is also a wonderful thing to happen. The second thing is exports. Exports are looking like they will hit the stretching goal of $400 billion this year. This also augurs well because there was a time when exports had languished in the vicinity of $310-20 billion. So this has been a remarkable growth this year. The third is when you look at it from a lens of FDI, I think it's been a great year for the business, for the country. And even though a large chunk of the FDI has come into the tech space, but so be it, because foreign capital which has come in, and often it comes in with technology. So there are many factors which stand out and which augur well for the country.
You spoke about several elements in those first remarks, and let's take them up one by one. Let's begin with the point about inflows. Capital inflows have been robust, and you spoke about the private equity space, the VC space, leading to a tech evolution. The new stars of Indian industry are being minted, as we say, and this time by venture funding. Sanjiv, do the valuations seem to be a concern? Because a lot of the times people say, where are the profits? Or what is this business model? Yet you have these billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar valuations.
Yeah. I would let the market decide the valuation, but what I tell the startup entrepreneurs, many of whom I mentor, is focus on creating value, and valuation will happen. I don't think young entrepreneurs should be very focused just on the valuation bit or get carried away by that. Important bit is, if you keep creating value, valuation is bound to happen. And what one has to look at, what I call as the sweet spot of innovation, which is when you have a product or service which meets the unmet needs of the consumers. The second is when you build capabilities which are distinctive and hard to replicate. And the third is you've created a business model where you appropriate a large part of the value chain. If this troika, you are able to get it in grip, then value will happen, you will create value, and creating value will lead to valuation.
The bit about growth that you spoke, and this is significant, you spoke about 9.5%. Where do you think this growth is likely to stabilize, given that there are now fears around Omicron? We have seen the stock markets react. From your point of view, as a captain of industry, how do you see the Omicron impact playing out?
Yeah, right. Thank you for that question, Siddharth. Omicron is a risk, and we should not let guard down in any which way. We should practice the right habits, which many of us have inculcated. Some have given it up, but we should get back to it, whether it is wearing a mask or keeping distance or using soaps and sanitizers several times a day. Those are the things which have to be done. But we must appreciate that this time of the year compared to the same time last year, we are in a very different position. I think the most remarkable thing has been the 1.3 billion doses of vaccine which have been administered.
Sanjiv, while we will leave the decision on a booster dose to the experts and to the scientists, from an industry point of view, would you call for a booster dose for factory workers, for the entire services sector, because that is where the first and most significant impact of any lockdown comes?
If your question is that if there is a need to protect the frontline workers, then should we go about protecting them with speed? The answer will of course be yes.